So looking on the documentary,
George W. Bush was able to
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
justices. The addition of Samuel Alito and John Roberts.
It's unclear, John Roberts. So I was like thinking about spin on his Supreme Court. So I was wondering, on a couple of things they had on the Supreme Court was hour and a half lunch, and to be honest with you, actually I don't have anything to do with law. I don't know anything about law as far as the education wise. As far as I'm trying to activate personal shame on it, and I was talking about affirmative action, so we just might as well just go with that. And with the whole idea of it, there's the age of depression, the age of the 60s, where they had birth control, which kind of flustered into the 60s movement, and then the 70s was the Ativan challenge, where anxiety was high, and it's controlled substance and stuff like that for social anxiety or anxiety in the 70s. And then the 80s, and then whatever. So that's happened. So the prescription drugs, I think it was the 70s when they came out. It was just kind of premature thought for me, but I remember seeing something about the Ativan challenge. And you can still take Ativan now. Even Prozac, as I take, is antidepressant, which is non-controlled, was out in the 90s. So they've evolved to Zoloft and Lexapro and everything else and beyond. So pharmaceuticals and stuff like that. With I don't really understand it, because that goes into a sphere of sciences and stuff like that. But you incorporate into law, or they're incorporating Roe versus Wade or something like that, or they're contemplating the ethics of birth control in general. They're like, well, wait a minute, birth control in general, is kind of taboo and in conservative thought. And so my whole you don't say anything, you just kind of say it. But as far as antidepressants and so if I was going back on a spin of what I was talking about earlier about CNN, I was talking about privilege of a doctor, patient privilege and stuff, and I don't want to be treated as a customer. I'm trying to politic with my psychiatry office right now, because I know this is in a public sphere that I'm speaking on. But I don't want to be sitting up here and be like, I'm Pasquale, just having to go over and over and then talk about the issue itself and give yourself a number as myself, I'm 1970, all this stuff. To where it's and then when you see me, don't even want to talk about issues that I go through on a daily basis because of all this type stuff. So coming around here into the Central Valley area, I always have medications administered in from some hospital or another. I always have, Medicare and stuff like that. So I don't politic and say, because if that was the case, I would have been like, hey, I want hydrocodone and I want this and this and this and stuff with that to no end, and that's the Periscope Mom. I can't say anything. And then I just, I just hide some things man, I found this. I was gonna say, oh yeah, just ignore them. I don't ignore them. And then it's what is the hypocrisy then? You know what I'm saying? Since I had to just interject, because maybe she looked at her phone to see something of Lime source to be from left field to talk about this. I don't know what you're saying. If that was the case, that would have been Ivor, you know what I mean? Then I would have been at Stanford, and there would have been no Iverson or something like that. I want to relate to a mute.
The time has come for me to take over life.
The chicken before the egg has always seemed to be the It's the essential equation of making more money. To get someone back to China or something so they can have nicotine gum.
I understand.
She's not worried about it. And then all of a sudden, everybody has nicotine gum.
Love you.
It's just to get a free ticket back to the south border of the Cebu. All that. I got other problems. I have pigeons in that Barcadero talking about, let me get your sandwich. Looks like a good rap. You know what I mean? All that stuff. People trying to cheat sheet off my peacoat talking about, I got this. And all this stuff. Hypocrisy alone. There is no such solvents of that in such nature. That's what people have to get so confused about. That's the nature, the laborious nature of capitalism. It just makes it out to be unjust. Way. They go, listen, they give everybody the charge, they give everybody the go ahead to say, yeah, we can say what we can do, we'll want. Just you want to get a promo on a door alarm. Is everybody to go ahead to absolve any other sin that's capable, because the era has moved into another era just because product of my success. I can't stand that shit.